pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. They go play action. Now Mahomes. He'll have a first down past the 40. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 75 yards. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. Wow, first play of the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, you spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Miles Sanders first carry of the game. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. They'll roll him out right. Finding some room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 47. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now Sanders. And he gets it down to the 32. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And this one complete to Smith. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
On second down, it's Sanders. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Hurts. And that's going to be caught front. Eagles touchdown. Richard Rodgers there to make the grab. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now here's Mahomes. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
They have have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that's incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3 and out and giving the ball back to their offense.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They're going to try and throw. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. On first down, Mahomes. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Mahomes now to throw. Being chased out left.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
2nd down and goal. Mahomes steps away to his left. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Alaire is in. Touchdown, Chiefs. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. Mahomes will throw for it. And he'll get into the end zone. That gives his guys an 8-point lead. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Sanders. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. We'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Play action. Here's Hurts. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Now throw right side taken in by the tight end Gray. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They go play fake. Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. Open man here. It's the tight end Kelsey. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Throwing now is Mahomes. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. And again, it's Mahomes. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Touchdown! Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs would extend their lead here just before halftime. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. and will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Another run with Sanders. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard. But more importantly, it leads to 4th down. It hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
first and 10 at Sanders. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Second and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating, there he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Smith catches left side. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Here's Hurts to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12. They run it again with Williams. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a big play there for the Chiefs. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And some room to maneuver. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown of the night.
And the Chiefs have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter. Well, whether it's catching slants or running the ball like he did there, Tyreek Hill, a threat to take it to the house every time he touches the ball.
If you're a play caller, all you do is spend your time trying to devise ways to get him the football because every time he touches it, he's truly a threat to end up in the end zone for a touchdown.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
We got 3 down.
Now back to throw. He's going to have the hook up to Scott. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory, down at the 31. Back to throw again. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
50 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. To throw again on 2nd down.
Hurts. Quick slant here to Smith.
Touchdown, Eagles!
Devontae Smith.
A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Eagles have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as he'll go for 2.
Hurts will throw.
And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Mahomes going to throw it here. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another try after the 1st down sack. Mahomes. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. They're going to look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Javon Hargrave, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They go play action with Hurts sliding out of the pocket. And he's out of bounds with a 1st down with 11 seconds remaining. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to do what we call flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and even playing on the road, the class of this ball club just too much to overcome.
Yeah, deep down, I think even the fans knew how this one was going to turn out. All right, they just came to support their team, hoped they'd see some good football, and they did. But they didn't really expect their team to win. In fact, they probably came in and said, let's win the tailgate, because that's where we have the advantage, and I bet they did that.